Hello everyone, welcome back to Luke's Anime Talk. We're going to go over some of the most recent anime I've been watching. And for this episode, I'll be looking at the movie Mobile Suit Gundam Cucuruz Doan's Island that I went to see at the cinema. So just before I start, I looked at Drifting Home, the new Netflix anime movie, so if you're interested, go give that a watch. And also make sure to like and subscribe to keep updated with all future episodes. Okay, so before I start, this is actually based on the 15th episode of the original Mobile Suit Gundam series, because originally the director hated the way the episode ended up with the animation and everything, so they actually stopped it from going into TV circulation, so a lot of people haven't seen it. And this is a remake, basically telling the story in better quality and a more in-depth look at the story of Doan's Island. Okay, so let's get into the plot. During a routine check, Federation Gundams are attacked and destroyed on an uninhabited island by a Zeon Zaku. The crew of the White Base are sent to investigate the island. During the search, Amuro is attacked in his Gundam and knocked off a cliff. The others escape back before a storm hits. The military leaders of the Federation and Zeon continuously bait each other. Amuro wakes up in a not-so-abandoned lighthouse, surrounded by children and a man, Doan, looking after them all. Amuro spends the next few days searching for his Gundam and helping around the lighthouse. See, this is the bit in the film where it gets a bit slower, where he's basically looking for his Gundam, and it's actually, he finds it off the end of a cliff at one point, and he's just kind of helping around the lighthouse, like helping them farm, helping them sort out water tanks, and he's just being helpful until he can find a way back to his base. The crew of the White Base waste time for HQ until they can find Amuro. One day, Amuro and another kid, Marcos, find a cavern where Doan has been working, but he angrily sends them away. From what it looks like, he was keeping the Gundams there, so the Zaku and also Amuro's Gundam, but you don't actually see them, so nothing's confirmed just yet. From what we do see, it looks like Doan's working on some kind of military tech that's been hidden on the island. Bright sends the other military crew to rescue Amuro. Zeon also sends an elite squad, the Southern Cross, who Doan once was a member of. The island is a missile site, and Zeon want to reactivate what Doan turned off. Both sides fight, with Doan in his Zaku taking out each member of the Southern Cross. With all this, the Zeon forces reactivate the missiles, but Amuro also finds his Gundam and wrecks shop. This is a really cool moment where he gets in the Gundam and he's hidden in the dark, and one of the other soldiers pulls back the curtain that's hiding it, and the eyes light up. And it's really cool because it's like warm. It's like the classic turning on sound effect, and the Zaku fighter is like, "Oh my god!" and runs away completely scared. Amuro gets above ground and saves an almost defeated Doan and kills the Southern Cross leader, Atla. The missiles launch, but Doan's tampering causes them to explode in the atmosphere. So what the Zeon military were saying to the Federation is that these missiles would attack London, New York, Washington, a load of capital cities, and this is what they were threatening to do. But Doan knew they were going to do this and sabotaged them ahead of time because he didn't want literally millions of people to die. Amuro and the crew reunite and fly to their next mission, with Doan and the kids living peacefully on the island. There's actually a really nice moment in the credits where they show that it's one of the kids' birthdays, and they show little snippets and pictures of them celebrating, and the last picture is them all standing around the birthday cake. And it's a really sweet moment that we all get to have a nice little light-hearted ending. So I had a great time with this film in the cinema. It was just a nice round film. It was lovely to see because Gundam fighting is awesome. It's action-packed, but also the characters are lovely to see and interact with each other. So it's a nice all-round film. So all the White Base crew are so different with their own personalities. So he's got some of the reckless ones, some of the more snarky ones. We've got the captain. We've got all the whole cruiser as a whole are just amazing. And Amuro is like the main character who keeps them all together when they're all feeling down, and he's like the centre point of the series, as you all may know. We understand Doan's reasoning and the kids for hating the soldiers. So we understand what Doan's doing. He wants to look after the kids and keep them safe. And literally, this island is a missile site, so he's trying to keep a lot more people safe as well. And the kids hate the soldiers because they killed their parents. And so they're obviously going to hate any soldier they meet. So it's very understandable why they don't like Amuro at the start. So Amuro is sometimes pretty smart and quick thinking, but sometimes pretty brain dead. So when he's in his Gundam, he's pretty battle ready, and he knows what he's doing. And like, for example, he's ready to risk his life to help people, even when he had to go cave diving to fill up the water tank and make that work. He'll do things quickly and efficiently, but sometimes he does pretty silly things, and you kind of just like, are you really that smart? And you realise that sometimes he can be a bit silly, but at the end of the day, he's a caring person that just tries to help people. So Gundam fights are awesome. They're not as much prevalent in the film, but you see them at the start with the Southern Cross going crazy in a town, and then at the end of the film where we get to see a big battle with Amuro and Atla fighting it out, and also Doan's Gundam as well. He loses an arm and he has to like throw rocks to try and keep the Atla Gundam away, and it's just cool fights. It's just, who doesn't love a good robot fight? So the CG for the Gundams was really good as well. I didn't really notice it that much. I think that's how good it was. I think over the years the Gundam anime has done a few CG things and some of them haven't looked too great. But I think at this point they've got to the point where it looks really good and it's smooth. It doesn't look too slow and framey compared to the rest of the animation. So I think they did a good job with the overall CG of the Gundam suits. So Amuro's Gundam looks cool with everything it does. So points like I mentioned, you see its eyes glow up in the dark. That was really cool. There's a bit where it's on top of a hill and lightning goes off and it's standing there and it's just intimidating. And then it walks down the hill and pulls up both of its like plasma swords and it looks awesome. It's gonna kick everyone's ass, and Amuro's basically just destroying everyone in a cool Gundam suit, and it's just awesome to watch. So all the kids are adorable. I love seeing them interact with everyone, especially Amuro, because he's like a kid, but he's also got a adult way of thinking because of all the war he's been in. But all the kids are just lovely. They're just trying to live happy lives with their adopted father, Doan. So the few little drawbacks I did think was that I don't know why Doan didn't tell Amuro where his Gundam was so he could leave. He was just being difficult because all he had done with it was just stored it away. He could have just told Amuro where it was and he could have left. But no, he was just being difficult and just wouldn't tell him for some reason. And then the one other small thing was that during the middle of the film, it's quite slow, and Amuro is basically just searching the island for his Gundam and doing odd jobs. And then the white base is just wasting time, and nothing really happens. It's kind of a slow build up towards the end battle at the end where the missiles go off and there's big Gundam fights. But yeah, that's the one little drawback I thought was the main thing. But yeah, overall I had a good time. If you love anime, especially Gundam anime, this will be great for you. If you love the original series, you'll love to see these characters back on the big screen. I love that. That was such a fun thing, especially because I'm new to Gundam and I've just started the original series, so it was cool to see my first Gundam film on the big screen. But yeah, that's my thought on the film. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to keep up to date with all future episodes. And until next time, I will see you all later.